We're at 3:10 here again. Sorry I'm late with this. I've been humongously busy over the past few weeks. School's been pretty rough, and everything, like my whole schedule is just fucked up right now. I come home like at 8 o'clock at night, do homework, go to sleep. Come home at 8 o'clock at night, do homework, go to sleep. It's been this repeating pattern, and I've gotten very little sleep for the past few days, so I'm sorry if I hadn't had time to finish this, but here it is, top 100 match of the year. I did forget a match. I'm not going to include it because it's fucking too late by now, but another match I forgot to mention was from AIW, the Jack of All Trios, Night 1. Johnny Gargano in Era Form versus Psycho Princess. No, versus, what's that guy's name? Facade, Shima Zion, and some other guy that I can't remember. They fought in the main event, and it was really good. I gave it 3 3/4, but fuck it. Let's start with my top 100 matches of the year. I hope to get to number 50 by this video. Now, as you notice, I have two 100s, and that's because I love them both so much, and I wanted to include them both into the top 100 because I didn't want to kick out the Dragon Gate match because I really wanted to talk about it because it's a match I had just seen. And I really couldn't decide which one to kick out. So I'm sorry, it's a tie. Fucking deal with it. So at 100B, we have Masaki Mochizuki and Don Fuji versus Shingo and Yamato. This is the famous match that was on Dragon Gate Infinity. I have the number right there, 186. And it was a great match. They brawled all over the arena. They brought it back to the ring. They did their high-flying stuff. It was a very different Dragon Gate match. I hadn't seen a Dragon Gate match like this in a while. I know some people have given this 5 stars. I think that's way too much. Even to me, 4 1/4 is a bit of a stretch because there were some parts that I didn't like. But this was still great match. I really enjoyed it. Ichiban. Actually, I believe he said this was the Dragon Gate match of the year. So, yeah, means something when it comes from him. Ichiban, sorry, what's his new name? Daniel Tox Perez. And my other 100 was Lince Dorado versus Ophidian versus Oberian versus Adam Cole versus Ace High, Cameron Sky versus Keita Yano in the Young Lions Cup Night 2 semifinals match. This was great. All due to Derek Zabato. Don't get me wrong, when Oberian, Cameron Sky, Adam Cole, Keita Yano were there, it was fine. But the reason the match gets the rating it gets is because when it was down to Lince Dorado and Ophidian, and Derek Zabato was just being the greatest performer in the greatest referee I've ever seen. I mean, good God, this guy added so much to the match. He was being partial towards Lince Dorado, and he knew how to show it well. Like, there's this point where Ophidian had Lince Dorado in his submission hold. I forget what it's called. It was Syrian Death Grip or something like that. And he had it, and everyone was going, the crowd was going crazy. The crowd made this match, dude. They were going crazy. They really thought Lince was going to tap out. Derek Zabato raised his hand once, twice, and the crowd was going insane, thinking that Lince would be knocked out. And then he lifted his hand up, and he jumped, like literally jumped halfway across the ring and put the hand on the rope to get the rope break. It was like crazy. And whenever Lince would do a move on Ophidian, Zabato would kick him out of the ring and start counting fast. There was so much drama. One of the most dramatic matches I've seen all year. Definitely the most dramatic. Actually, I wouldn't say that. But one of the most dramatic matches I've seen all year. Awesome match. Very underrated. That deserves to be on here as well. 99. Now we're going to have to go a little faster. Colony versus BDK in the finals. Okay, the Trios Night 3. This is when Derek Zabato turned heel. Great match. A lot of people had this as their Chikara match of the year until Manami Toyota and Quackenbush came in. The Young Bucks versus 2 skinny black guys with low moral fiber. As the worm turns. Great match. Kind of your basic Young Bucks match, though. They had a great match on almost every single PWG show. We'll get into them later. Christian Daniels versus Kenny Omega. Great match at Death Before Dishonor. Really enjoyed it. Don't really have a lot to say on it. I'm trying to make this video a little shorter than the last one. I will get to 50, but I'm going to go a little slower. I mean, a little faster. Stuff that I don't really have a lot to say of, I'm just going to keep on going. Skalas for Scorpion Sky. Skalas retirement match, his last match at PWG. Great performance. Like, when after this match was over, you really were like, damn, man, he really is to go. Fuck. This is the second best retirement match I've ever seen behind Shawn Taker. I can't think of another one that's better. I've been thinking about it. Of the several Terry Funk retirement matches. Of the Ric Flair retirement match. Actually, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels in the ring was not better than this, but as an overall match, emotional roller coaster ride experience, it was. So maybe that's better. But as far as just in-ring work, this was superior. But yeah, great stuff. You really feel bad for Scott Loss after it. You really were like, God damn, man, why do you have to leave? I don't want you to leave, Scott. Clark Castellano, Ricochet, really high-flying, fast-paced matchup. These two guys have wonderful chemistry, and I really want to see them in the ring again. great match. Kevin Steen Coquebana, one of the more underrated matches of the feud. Great stuff there. Cutler Brothers versus the Young Bucks at DDT 4, another one of my personal favorites. In my opinion, this is the best match these two teams have ever had, and they've had a lot of great matches. They've had a lot of really good matches at DDT 4 last year, PWG 100. There's the Bola Night 1. This was their best match, in my opinion, and it definitely showed. Kenta versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru for the GHC Heavyweight Championship at Shiny Navigation. I believe this was, because the match right above it. I'll talk about the match above it too. Takashi Sugiura versus Go Shiozaki for the GHC Heavyweight Championship. The Kenta match I thought was great, but I thought it was one of Kenta's weaker matches. For those who do not know, I do have a list of all of Kenta's matches of 2010 because he was my favorite junior in Japan. I think he probably still is. And this doesn't rank that highly. You'll see a lot more Kenta matches on this list. I thought it was great and all. I just thought it was kind of overkill, like a lot at some points. Yoshinobu Kanemaru, I don't know how it goes. He has this like suplex-like finisher. He did it on Kenta like fucking 5 times. He did it and Kenta got it right. He did it like off the top rope. And then Kenta got right. The crowd, they counted 1, 2. The crowd popped. I think Kenta got up immediately and he just did it again and won. I hate finishes like that. I really do. It reminded me of BB Hulk and Shingo from Bushido, Code of the Warrior, where BB Hulk does this like amazing Phoenix Splash, I think. This is an incredible move, and then the crowd goes crazy at the near fall. Shingo kicks out, and then he just hits him with a rope flosion and it's over. Why not just hit him with the move that the crowd was popping for? Really, you don't have to peak a spot too early. But I still thought the match was great. Sugiura Go Shiozaki I really liked, but as I said before, I have a problem with Shiozaki's matches. I mean, I thought this was great and all, but I've seen better Sugiura matches. Batista versus John Cena at Extreme Rules. Great match here. Really liked it. Nothing much to say. One of the better John Cena matches and Batista matches for a while. I can't really think of. I'm trying to think of a match that these two had that was better than this. Batista probably with Taker at Mania. And Cena probably with Shawn. They probably had matches in 2008 that were better, but I can't think of any right now. Naomichi Marufuji versus Kanemaru, I also thought was great. I thought it was better than the Kenta match. A little overkill here too, though, but it was still good stuff. Hiroki Goto versus Shinsuke Nakamura. For some reason, I wrote Nakamura Shinsuke, which is how it's pronounced, but I didn't write it. I don't like writing it like that. Great stuff here. One guy, this is how I really started getting into Japanese wrestling. One guy just sent me 3 matches, and he said, these 3 matches are my top 10 matches of the year. Watch them and tell me what you think. I'm like, yeah, okay. Because I used to watch Japanese wrestling, like, there was like this great match, and I was just like, maybe I'll check it out. But like not consistently like I kind of do now. Like I know when all the shows are, I know which shows I can watch, stuff like that. I'll be reviewing the First Navigation soon. And he sent me this match, and I just thought it was great. I really loved it. Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles at Genesis, great stuff, but their Impact match was better. You'll see that match on this list. Takeshi Morishima versus Takayama and Noah. Oh my god, this was fucking brutal. Like, fucking brutal. These guys murdered each other. Like, good Lord Jesus, I felt uncomfortable watching this at some points. They just killed each other in this match. And it was, even though I felt uncomfortable, it was kind of entertaining. But good shit there. Yuko Miyamoto, Isami Kadaka, and Masashi Takeda versus Ryuji Ito, Abdullah Kobayashi, and Kankura Hoshina in a fluorescent light tube board death match. Yeah, great stuff there. This was my first fluorescent light tubes board match. And it was a death match done right. It wasn't like overly terribly and overly done, terribly done. It was done just right. They built to the spots. Everything. Big Japan does the death matches really well. So maybe I viewed it better than a little most. That was the best Big Japan match I saw all last year. I haven't seen the 6-man tag that everyone was raving about, but that's my favorite. Kevin Stevens versus El Generico, the Force Honor. This will be one of the lost classics in history. In Ring of Honor history. This match was great, but like no one's gonna know. The final battle match and even the Bitter Francis to Frenemies match I think is gonna overshadow it. Kind of like Austin Aries versus Tyler versus Jimmy Jacobs at Vendetta 2. That match is wonderful, but that match is what am I saying? I haven't seen the match. That match everyone says is wonderful, and everyone remembers their I Quit match, which I've seen the I Quit match. The I Quit match is great, but people say the Vendetta 2 match is better. I'm not saying Kevin Steen versus with the Force Honor is better than Final Battle, but a great match is overshadowed in a great feud because of the blow-off. Happens a lot. BJ Whitmer, Jimmy Jacobs, everyone remembers their cage match. No one remembers their fucking Falls Count Anywhere match, Their matches, their tables matches that they had with Albright and Cabana. Their even their match at Dragon Gate Challenge where fucking Jimmy Jacobs landed on his neck. Good shit. In the truly best feuds, no one remembers the other great matches for Ring of Honor. I mean, obviously Danielson Nigel's the exception, and Joe Punk. Bryan Danielson versus Muta Norisawa at Evolve 5. Great match. One of the weaker Bryan Danielson matches of the indie scene that I saw, but this was still wonderful stuff. I still really liked it. The style was very different, but it worked. It did work. Kensuke Sasaki versus Jun Akiyama from Noah. Oh my god, this was great too. I mean, these guys beat the shit out of each other. And Sasaki kept attacking Akiyama with some Hainise Chin. Akiyama kept fighting back with some nice clotheslines. And it was a great match. I think Ichiban, I keep calling him that. I think Daniel Talks Pro Rest told me that this match was like number 3 on his list. I didn't think it was that good, but I still thought it was wonderful, but not that great. Edge versus Alberto Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio versus Kane in a Fatal 4-Way TLC match for the World Title TLC. I love this match. Just a wonderfully... I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of great spots. That's why the match is famous. It's not like the more psychology-based ladder match in Sheamus John Morrison, but it was still good stuff. Alberto Del Rio took a great spot here. And another underrated spot, Kane jumped from the top of ladder to a table to Kane on the outside. They fought at the entranceway. This match was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. Thank God they made this a Fatal 4-Way TLC, or else that show would have been abominable with Edge and Kane in a TLC match. Next we got Cult Fiction versus the Suicide Kings in Cage of Death. I also thought it was great. Again, it was my first Cage of Death, so I'm a little more partial to it. I did think this was better than Yuko Miyamoto match. I thought that match was a little overrated. But this match I still thought was great. Yes, it was a little repetitive at times, but I didn't know the full story. I knew some though. I knew about Drake Younger's recent heel turn, and I've seen his match with B-Boy. I forget the show from 2009, which was wonderfully awesome. So I maybe had a little more appreciation for that afterwards, for what they did with B-Boy. And the Devonmore spots were cool, a little sick, but cool. But yeah, good stuff, definitely. Kenta and Atsushi Aoki versus Roderick Strong and Eddie Edwards. This is not the famous match. This is the first match. People don't realize they had 2 matches in that tournament. This one's great. The second match is much better, though, but we'll get to that much later. The Colony versus the BDK at King of Trios Night 2. My favorite match from the King of Trios tournament. This was the first time the BDK actually suffered a defeat, like a non-disqualification defeat. And yeah, it was really impressive, and it was a great match. A lot of drama. The crowd was going crazy for it. I really liked it. Koji Kanemoto versus Davey Richards at New Japan on 9/26/2010. This was the same day as Shiny Navigation, except it was in New Japan. Great match. I really loved it. Good stuff. Not much to say, really. Roderick Strong versus Davey Richards. No one's going to fucking remember this match. At Bitter Friends, Stiff Enemies 2. This was great, but like I said, disappointing. I remember the live reports. One guy specifically said, I've been going to Ring of Honor shows since Chicago of 2007, and this, in my opinion, was the best match ever from that period. That's a lot of shows. That's like talking Danielson Nigel from Rising Above 2009, I believe. That's talking Danielson Aries from Final Countdown Tour Chicago. That's talking... I don't guess Ladder War is not considered. Anyways, you guys get the point. There's a lot of great matches in that period. So I really thought this thing would be like draw-dropping, and it was just great. I know it sounds kind of bad, but yeah, it was great, but like it wasn't like as amazing. In fact, I thought it was the 3rd best match on the show. On this show. We'll see the other 2 matches later. Marufuji versus Devitt. I think this match is really overrated. I'm sorry. It was so crazy. So overly done to the point where like 15 minutes after the match, you will not remember most of it. And it was great, but I don't know. I've seen some people give this like 4 3/4. I think True Slayer has it like in its top 5. I don't think it's that good. My only AAA match on this list, LA Park versus La Parca, where the winner gets the right to the name La Parca at Triple Mania. I watch Triple Mania every year. It's the only AAA show I watch. I don't even watch Verano de Escándalo. But this was a great match. I really liked it. One of the better lucha matches apparently over the years. Some people have said. It had a lot of great psychology. It told a great story to it. There wasn't really a winner, but that didn't really hurt the match for me. I still thought it was great. I still really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. Kings Wrestling versus Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team at Glory Battle 9. This is probably my most overrated match on my list. I think it's great, but I really don't see what's so special about it. Yes, I know there's not a lot of spots compared to their other matches, and it's a more psychology-based match, and the spots work better. The crowd pops nicely for each one. The crowd was great for this match, by the way. I just don't see it. When I saw it on GoFi Live, I was like, that was great. And then when I saw it on the DVD, I was like, that wasn't as good as I thought. But it was still great. And it's a great and wonderful match, but like some people really think this is like the best match the Kings of Wrestling had all year. I don't think it's anywhere close to that. I can name 5 Kings of Wrestling matches that were better than this. Motor City Machine Guns, the fucking, what was this called? Both matches with the Briscoes, the 8-man tag at SoCal Showdown, and actually I wouldn't put the Tag Boys match above this. Hey, this is the 5th best Kings of Wrestling match I've seen all year. No, American Wolves. I haven't seen it, but like I guarantee you that match is gonna be better than this one. But I can't judge. Whatever. But anyways, I think it's great, but I don't know what it is. I think the match is really overrated. Like in the Wrestling Observer Match of the Year awards, this match like placed 6th. I was like, are you kidding me? Good God. I just don't get it. I'm sorry. It was great, but I thought I've seen better. I'm sorry. Kevin Steen and Steve Corino versus El Generico and Colt Cabana at the Double Chain match. This match is definitely going to be forgotten because this was a great match. This was my favorite match on that show. I really loved it. So many great spots, great psychology throughout. And they built to the final battle match. The whole thing when he masked El Generico at the end was very great. I loved everything about this match. Really, really, really underrated match, I feel. Great stuff. Mike Quackenbush and Jigsaw versus the BDK in 2 out of 3 falls match at Reality is Relative. This match only went 9 minutes long, and I gave it 4 stars. Oh, yeah. That's how dramatic it was. That's how great it was. Just the culmination of an entire year of the BDK winning 2 straight falls in their title matches, cheating at the beginning, which they stopped by having Eddie Kingston coming out and taking out Delirious, with the BDK getting the first pin, with Derek Zerbato not being the referee, and then Bryce got taken out and Zerbato was the referee, and then Bryce took out Zerbato. It was so dramatic. If you've seen all the Chikara shows of 2010 like I did, you will have a much better appreciation for this match, as opposed to some people who just watched it without seeing another Chikara show besides one and give it like 3, 3.25, 3.5. I've seen some people give this shit like 2 stars on some forums. I'm like, why? And they say, but it was only 9 minutes. So what? That doesn't mean anything. So dramatic, great match. The best 10-minute match I've seen all year. Yes, even better than the 4-way at Enter the Dragon. Great stuff there. Dragon Kid versus Masato Yoshino in a 2 out of 3 falls match open in the Northern Gate. In my opinion, the 4-star match of the year. I thought this was wonderful stuff. I really, really enjoyed it. Really underrated match. And yeah, not much more to say about it. Great stuff. Generation Me versus, now we're getting into the 4 1/4. We're getting into the real ass of this list. Alright. Now we have Generation Me versus Motor City Machine Guns for the TNA tag titles at Full Metal Mayhem in Final Resolution. Okay, I thought this match was great. A complete stunt show. Spot fest, right? I'm telling you right now. But so crazy some of the stuff they did. Some of the stuff they did was great. I gave it an extra 1/4 of a star because of the way the Motor City Machine Guns and Generation Me feud was done from No Surrender, Bound for Glory, and this pay-per-view. I thought all their matches were really good to great, and I really enjoyed every single one of them. And I was so happy to see the Young Bucks shine in a major wrestling promotion. Even though some people aren't too high on TNA, they still are the #2 wrestling promotion in the country. And so, great match. Obviously, it's my lowest 4 1/4 star match for a reason, but it was still great. Apollo 55 versus the Golden Lovers at the New Japan Destruction pay-per-view. I love this one as well. A little too short, though. It was only like 15 minutes. I wanted this to go a lot longer, but it was still wonderful. So many great stuff in this match. Prince Devitt was just awesome. He's all over this list, as is, actually no, Kenny Omega has like one of the match, and Bushi has like one of the match. Next we get to Masakatsu Funaki versus Suwama at All Japan. This was the All Japan match of the year. From what I've heard, I haven't seen another one, but this was wonderful. Oh my god, this was stiff as all hell. This was my kind of match. I was so happy with this match. I really enjoyed every second of it. For those who haven't seen it, you really need to see this match right now. It's incredibly stiff. Apparently, Masakatsu Funaki, if someone correct me if I'm wrong here, used to work for Pancrase. It's not Pancrase. It's like Pancrase or Pancras or something like that. It's I don't know if it's an MMA promotion or a judo promotion or something. It's not. It's a mixed martial arts. I don't know what it is. It's some sort of promotion, and he incorporated that into his match here with Suwama, and it worked out really well. Everything was just really stiff. I really enjoyed every second of this match. Great match. Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles for TNA title on Impact. I gave this 4 1/4 originally. After rewatching it, it probably isn't that high. I still have it here because the January 4th show was a pretty important show for TNA, and this was kind of like the culminating match of that, like telling people, hey, if you come back, you'll see more of this. And it was great, even without the numerous finisher kickouts. There were like 3 angle slams, 2 styles clash, or something like that. This was still a great match. I still really liked it. And no, it's not the TV match of the year. I believe I have Tyler Black, Davey Richards, and the Young Bucks with the Briscoes up here. But anyways, Kenta versus Kotaro Suzuki at Noah. This was great, but I barely remember it, to be honest, so moving on. Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish in Evolve 4. Definitely the most underrated Bryan Danielson match against a really underrated wrestler, Bobby Fish. He's really, really good. He doesn't get enough credit that he deserves, and he put on an amazing match with Danielson here. Probably the 3rd best Bryan Danielson match of the year. I say that with caution, but whatever. It was great stuff. Next, we get the Briscoes versus the Kings of Wrestling at Big Bang. Again, I think this match is great, but I also think it's a little overrated. It's great and wonderful and all that, but this was fucking ridiculous. This was like 30 minutes. They peaked the match like at the 20-minute mark. I mean, really, this was just too much. This was too much. I'm sorry. It was too overdone. If this ended like 5-10 minutes earlier, I would have given this like 4.5, and I could understand what people are saying. But to me, the Death Force Honor A match is so much better booked. It goes at so much of a better pace. I really don't understand why this match is so loved by everybody. I thought it was a great match, but I thought their other match was much better, as you'll see. BB Hulk versus Shingo at Bushido, Code of the Warrior. This was BB Hulk's first great match. I didn't like the finish, but I still thought the match was great, and I still enjoyed it, so yeah, 4.25. But they have another match that's on here. That's quite high on here, as you all probably know. The Cutler Brothers and Joey Ryan versus the Young Bucks and Malachi Jackson. One of the most underrated matches of the year, because no one really bought this show. It didn't really have a lot of draw to it, but this match was great. The best match I've seen from Malachi Jackson or Joey Ryan or the Cutler Brothers for the entire year. The Young Bucks, I think. Actually, no, not the Cutler Brothers, but Joey Ryan and Malachi Jackson, definitely. I don't think on any other match. But yeah, great match. Really loved it. Just an awesome 6-man tag. Malachi Jackson, a little sloppy, but he's good. He has potential to be something great one day. Kenta versus Sugiura at No One, 8/5/2010. Great, stiff, a little disappointing though. I have yet to see Kenta Takayama, which I heard is incredible. But this was great, but I thought it would be a little better. I mean, I still gave it 4.25. I don't want to sound like I'm unappreciative. I just put it above all these matches that I just gave high praise to. But I just expected a little more from it. But it was still wonderful, don't get me wrong. Naruki Doi, Masato Yoshino versus Shima and Ricochet at Untouchable. I just saw this match recently. It's crazy, and it's great. This was like the show-stealing match, the breakout match for Ricochet. This actually got him dates in Japan, and for Dragon Gate in Japan, and they actually gave him a title in Dragon Gate in Japan. So yeah, this match kind of helped his career significantly, and it was a great match. Kenta and Sugiura versus Takeshi and Morishima and Shiozaki in a 2-out-of-3 falls match. Great, awesome match. Some people like this a little more than I do, but I still thought it was great. Great psychology to it, great stuff. Really enjoyed it. Nice hot tags in throughout the match. And I really enjoyed the pacing of it. It's long, it's like 30 minutes, but the way they paced each fall, I thought it worked. That's why. Davey Richards versus Yamato at Dragon Gate USA Freedom Fight. A lot of people were very disappointed at the time that Davey Richards didn't win the title and that he wasn't even in the final match. But looking back on it, seeing as how Davey Richards kind of turned his back to Dragon Gate and Evolve, it kind of was for the better that he didn't win this match. And this was an awesome match, the best Yamato match. I say that with caution. Nope, this is not the best Yamato match I've seen all year. I have 2 other Yamato matches on here. But yeah, they're definitely the best Davey Richards Dragon Gate match of 2010. Those who get the joke, enjoy it. So yeah, great match. I really loved it. But dude, I saw this shit like in January of last year, so excuse me, my memory of it's a little eek. Young Bucks versus Peligro Abejas in the finals of the DDT4 tournament. Oh my god, so much drama in this match. A lot of people like their match with Cutler Brothers better, but I think the drama, people have to realize that Young Bucks were PWG champions for, what was it? It was like more than 2 years or 2 years or something crazy like that. They held the titles for a long ass time, and Peligro Abejas and Paul London was very emotional after he won the title. You know, you can tell that the WWE really soured his attitude on the business in general, and he was really happy and really emotional that a promotion cared enough about him and appreciated his talent to give him a title like that he felt he earned. Good stuff, good stuff. I thought this match was great. I think that whole show is really underrated. A lot of people think it was like the worst DDT4 I've heard. I've heard a lot of people say like, yeah, it's a little disappointing, but I thought this whole show was great. The Briscoes versus the Young Bucks for the ROH Tag Team titles on HDnet. Very, very, very underrated. This is one of my favorite matches of the year. Second best TV match of the year, in my opinion. I enjoyed this so much. It was so great. This was my TV match of the year for a long time. And this was the Young Bucks' last match of Ring of Honor, and they put on one hell of a showing. I believe, what's the other one's name? Matt Jackson said this was one of his favorite matches of 2010, and possibly his favorite. Now, I believe they've had a few other matches that are on this list, but still, great, awesome match. I really enjoyed it, and very happy to see the Young Bucks now in TNA, I guess. I mean, maybe you're not so happy because they don't have the best of luck with them, because TNA is not that best of a company to work for. But hey, it's still a number 2 wrestling promotion, and it's nice to see them be shown on national television. By the way, side note, Max Buck versus Jeremy Buck versus Robbie E. Number 1 contention for the X Division title. What? Max Buck versus Jeremy Buck versus Robbie E? How do you... Whatever. Naomichi Marufuji and Atsushi Aoki versus Shinsuke Nakamura at Gedo. Oh, this was great. I really enjoyed this match. But I saw it a while ago, and I'm already going too long, so moving on. The TV match of the year, Tyler Black versus Davey Richards on ROH HDnet. Not as good as their Tag Wars match, or nowhere near as good as their Death Force Honor 8 match, but still great. With an HDnet crowd, they put on one hell of a match. And it was great stuff. I really enjoyed it. You know, it's kind of like Joe Punk, where each match built on spots done in the previous matches, so in order to appreciate them more, you have to see all 3. If you've seen both matches before, their first 2 matches before seeing this one, you'll have like an appreciation for a lot of the spots that they do. Like there's a spot where like, I forget what it is, where like Tyler whips Davey, and Tyler like comes back immediately and goes for a drop kick, and he misses, and then Davey immediately runs the ropes and kicks him or something like that. And in this match, he missed, and Davey went to run the ropes, and then Tyler ducked, and then Tyler hit the drop kick, and it was like, yay, you finally hit it after 3 matches. They built upon spots from their previous matches, and it made the match a lot more enjoyable. Great match, I loved it. Next we got Sugiura versus Takayama. This was also brutal. These guys beat the shit out of each other, and oh my god, I really loved it. Takayama had some great shit this year. Had a lot of matches that I just really loved. And Sugiura is very underrated. This is one of the reasons why he was my number 2 vote for Wrestler of the Year. Tyler Black versus Chris Hero, like I said, from Better Friends to Frames 2. Very underrated. Probably the most underrated match in Tyler Black's title reign. I mean, it's not as good as Tyler debut 1 or 2, or his match with Roddy at Supercard of Honor, or his match with Roddy and Aries, but I would put this right there. And I know some people that really love this match, and this is probably the best Chris Hero singles match from Ring of Honor. Don't worry, Chris Hero Kiritazawa's up there. But, oh my god, I really love this match. Stiff as all hell. Tyler really introduced a lot of new moves from his offense in this match. And like when he goes for the back suplex, and then he throws the guy over the top rope. I think he started that in this match. Great match. I really loved it. Really underrated. Kenta versus Atsushi Aoki. This was fucking brutal. These guys killed each other. I said that so many times already in this video, but still, they dropped each other on their heads, and they were like giving each other sledgehammer fists to the face. Like, oh my god, these guys destroyed each other. This is the best match on that show, easily, because I didn't like that show that much. But great match. Awesome match. One of the more underrated Kenta matches. And we are stopping right there at 50. Whenever I come back to doing this, I plan on doing 49 through 11, and then I'll do an entire video. Actually, I can either do 49 to 11, or I can do 49 to 4, because my top 3 matches, I gave them all 5 stars. I've been thinking really hard about what's going to be number 1, what's going to be number 2, and what's going to be number 3. I'm not going to have 1A, 1B. I'm going to officially decide a number 1, number 2, number 3. That's why if you go to my channel for my top 10 matches of the year, I put question marks next to all 3 of their names. So we will see. But with that in mind, I'll probably do 49 through 11. I'll probably do an entire video dedicated to my top 10. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys continue to watch this series video and give me your feedback. I really appreciate your comments. I'm Peligro at 310. I'm tired as all hell. I still have to study for a test, and it's 2 in the morning, so 1:30 in the morning. So I'm out. See ya.